Good morning. This is Wednesday morning, July 14th, 2021. We have a little object lesson today, and that's why I'm standing here in our barnyard. I wanted to show you something. We're going to talk about nature today. Over here we have our oldest mammal on the property. She is a Nigerian dwarf goat, and she was 2 years old on May 31st. Her little half-sister there is Sasha. She was 1 year old on May 14th. And then, let me just lift this up, we have Taco. Let me just walk around here. We have Bandit, who is a little male Nigerian dwarf, and we have Taco. Taco will be 1 year old on August 21st. What I'm bringing out here is, you'll see that I have 2 bags of hay. As much as I try to get them behave differently, Isabel dominates the entire barnyard. She's been here the longest, she's the oldest, and she has no problem with pushing any of the others away. In fact, I had to put 2 hay bales, two bags, because she will, even if she has a whole pile of hay and somebody else gets a little piece, she will drive them away. She dominates. And when the male goat first arrived back in May, she butted heads with him until his head bled, just to let him know that she's the boss. But generally, the boy goat, because he's the last one here, the others will push him away and he doesn't get to eat at all. And sometimes I think, how can you be so cruel? Sometimes I look at her and I say, you're so evil. You just want to take food away from anybody else. But you know what I found out? I can stand here, and if I stand here and yell at her while I'm standing here, I can keep them separate. But as soon as I walk away, it's right back to the same situation. And what I found out is, that's a goat's nature. I cannot change the nature. I've had a lot of animals over years, parrots and iguanas, and I've trained them to do some remarkable things. I trained a large iguana to stay in the yard. Every time it would try to go out, I would turn it around for days and days, and it would stay right in the yard and come up to the back door when it was ready to come in. But I couldn't change its nature. And you can train animals to do some great things, but their nature remains. And the nature of the goat is they're herd animals. There's going to be a dominant one. Even with the ducks, when you bring a new baby duck in, I was shocked to see the big ducks all peck at it real hard and push it to the back and get it away from the food. And I thought, how could you be so mean to a baby? But what they're doing is establishing a pecking order, and that's their nature. And so you can train them to do some things, and while I'm here, I could yell at her and say, let the others eat, and move her away. But as soon as I walk away, her nature will take over again, and it's right back to what it was. Well, you know, we're told in the Bible that as the leopard cannot change its spots, nor the Ethiopian change its skin, neither can you who are accustomed to do evil do good. We have to realize, and this is so important, and listen to me, because especially with your children, people are shocked at what their children say and do sometimes. We called a parent one time, and his little son had lied to us, and the dad drove right up to the school. We were in the office. He took the kid outside. He said, can I take him outside the office a minute? We had a bench there in the hallway outside the office. He knelt down praying over that child. He was crying. He was just weeping in the hallway, praying over that child. He couldn't believe his child lied. And their parents will say to us, we teach them better. We don't teach them to do this. I don't know why the devil got into my child. And we have to tell him, sir, your child has not come to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ yet. Your child's nature is a fallen human nature. You know, we talk about a human nature, but we're in a fallen human nature. We are born in sin and shapen in iniquity. And we try to teach an unsaved person to act like they're filled with the Spirit. You know, it's kind of like trying to teach a goat to act like a different animal, or let's say to try to teach a worm to act like a butterfly. Well, a worm, a caterpillar, crawls in the dirt, it crawls around, it stinks, it's always crawling in the mud. But God comes along and, through a process of metamorphosis, weaves the cocoon, and it's a brand new creature. It's not a worm anymore. It doesn't crawl anymore. It flies, it drinks nectar from beautiful flowers. It's had a change of nature. You know, I had a man tell me the other day, he said, the school where I go to teach, the cursing and all that goes on, he said, I'm constantly correcting it. Don't use that language. And he said, it's the culture, but it's not the culture, it's the nature. You know, when parents are so upset and they say, we teach our kids better, we don't want you to think we taught our kids this. It's not what you teach them, it's who they are. You know, sometimes a child will be brought up under strict hyper-authoritarian parents. And as long as the parents are around, they behave. And you say, wow, they're such well-behaved kids. They go to church all the time. They go to Sunday school. You know, they don't drink. They got to be teenagers. They don't drink. They don't carouse or anything. And they go off to college and they're into wild parties. And you say, what happened? This child just totally changed. No, the child didn't change. That's who they were all the time. But under the strict authoritarian parental guidance, as long as the parent's there, they're doing what the parent is forcing them to do under threat of punishment. But as soon as the parent's not there, their true nature comes out. Well, it's that way. You know, when we're under the law and we say, well, you know, I'm under the punishment of the law, we can try to behave, but it never changes our nature. It hasn't made us a new creature. But when Jesus Christ comes in and makes us a new creation, and he creates in us a new heart, and we're a totally new creature, then by the Spirit in us, we walk in the ways of the Spirit, not the ways of the flesh. It's a nature problem. It's not a behavior problem. It's not a training problem. We think we can teach somebody to be different. Just like I thought, well, if I keep teaching long enough, it's been 1.5 years, I've been trying to teach her to do right. She does right when I'm standing right here, but when I'm not standing here, she's a goat and she acts like a goat. And it's going to be the same way with your children. It's going to be the same way with you. If you try to use guidelines and laws and punishment and you think you're going to walk properly, walk in the ways of the Lord because of the amount of training or the amount of threat you have, you're only kidding yourself. And when you raise your children, just realize a spiritually dead person does spiritually dead things because they're spiritually dead. But when the Holy Spirit comes in and we're a brand new creature, then we behave like a new creature. A butterfly flies because it's a butterfly. A caterpillar crawls because it's a caterpillar. Our nature has to be changed. And Jesus Christ wants to do that. So if you're struggling and you say, you know, I just can't, I can't do right. Well, you definitely can't. You know, as the Ethiopian cannot change his skin and the leopard cannot change his spots, neither can you who are accustomed to do evil do good. But when Jesus Christ comes in and his Holy Spirit indwells you, you're a brand new creature. And then he will live his life through you and you will be more than a conqueror. The Son will set you free and free indeed, and you can walk in the light of God's love by the power of the Holy Spirit. So may God help you to receive Jesus Christ if you haven't, and if you have, realize that you're a brand new creature and you can walk in the ways of the Lord by his power. God bless you. Have a good day.